Hello, it's Sunday again. We've just got through a week of some pretty heavy gaming. We had a couple of games on the Sunday. We actually managed to fit two in due to some strange circumstances, which I'm sure you've probably seen by now, although I haven't actually uploaded them. You'll see them before this one. And we also played some games of 40k on the Friday, which was pretty nice, although we didn't film those just because it was a 24-hour gaming session. We didn't really have time. So much gaming involved. And as promised, it's our 50th game, so we decided to do something special as it was the end of the year as well. It's been a pretty hectic year of lots of gaming, which has been lovely. Hopefully we'll have plenty more next year. So just to celebrate this one, we've decided to have a rather large game. We have it's basically a 6,000 point per side and a free general. We've got some rules in place. So it's basically my Warriors of Chaos and my Orcs versus Skaven and his Ogre kingdoms. So we've brought out our board extension just to make the most of it. And I'm going to run you through what I've got and what side's got and some of the rules. So I'll run you through the rules first actually. The general's basically free. We've tried to take generals who are pretty much on par with each other. So I have a Demon Prince, level 4, and Sai's got a Vermin Lord, so they're pretty similar. And one of the rules is they have a inspiring presence of 24. They are the only general, so there's not one from each army. And each army has a BSB. So the BSBs have a bit of coverage. But one of the rules is that if the general dies, then the whole army has to take a morale test pretty much. Otherwise they fight each other as per the animosity rules. So the general's pretty important. So as a result, he's actually allowed to join units, and he gets a full lookout sir as he would if he was normal infantry. And obviously both me and Sai benefit from that. And also the BSB rules are that they obviously give the 12 bubble of rerolls, and they affect all units, both Orc and Chaos, Ogre and Skaven. But if the general dies, they only affect their own units. So as sort of kind of represent the army kind of falling apart after the general who united them dies. So and that's how we're doing that. The rules for magic. We're basically using Storm of Magic rules just to have plenty of magic going on. Sai's got loads of casters, as have I. So we wanted to keep it, the spells flying. It's going to be more about just smashing each other in the face than tactics, I think. So we've just rolled out pretty much everything we have for each respective army. So although I've only got about half my Warriors of Chaos stuff, just because they're pretty expensive. Okay, so I'm going to run you through my army, and then I'm going to hand you over to Sai, see what he's got. So first up, we have some Wolf Riders, an Orc Chariot, 40 Black Orcs with a level 2 Zinch Sorcerer. Oh, that was another thing. All the special rules pretty much affect every unit as if they're the same army, including should Skaven slaves flee, then Ogres don't care about it as Skavens would, like Skaven clan rats would. Same with Noblars. If Noblars fled, Skaven probably wouldn't care either. So just to make things simpler. So we've got 40 Black Orcs, the level 2 of Zinch, a Troll, a Chaos Lord on a Manticore, a Rock Lobber, 38 Black Orcs with a level 4 Savage Orc Shaman, and the Black Orc BSB, another Troll, 2 Spear Chuckers, War Shrine, 49 Night Goblins with 2 Night Goblin Big Bosses. We have 5 Marauders, 18 Chaos Warriors of Khorne with Halberds, 15 Warriors of Zinch with just shields. We have a level 1 Goblin, a Night Goblin that is. Is the General, is the Demon Prince. He's level 4 Marker Zinch. The Hell Cannon, another Spear Chucker, another War Shrine, the Exalted Hero on a disc, he's the BSB. 5 squid coppers. 8 Knights of Zinch with an Exalted Hero on a Juggernaut. Level 1 Night Goblin. Shaggoth. 5 Marauder Horsemen. A Doom Diver. A Rock Lobber. A Squig Herd with 15 Squigs and 5 Handlers. And then an Orc War Boss on a Wyvern. So that's it. So she'll hand you over to Si, see what he's got.
Okay, in my combined force, starting off on the far left flank with a unit of 40 clan rats, a rattling gun, standard musician. It also has the Skaven BSB in. And next to that is my Doom Wheel. He's actually from a different clan, so he's obviously come to gank a few of the other guys. Then I have my emergency lightning catcher, old kitty cat lightning rod, Saber Tusk, and some Mornfang. I have another Doom Wheel, a unit of 50 Skaven slaves with a level 1 caster engineering, a unit of 6 lead belchers, 10 Noblars. Then I have my Stonehorn. I have a Skaven Clan Rat bunker unit, which has a Warlord and a Greyseer. It also has a rattling gun. Then I have a unit of 30 the Storm Vermin. That has a Skaven Chieftain in and a Firebelly. That also has a rattling gun. Then I have a Old Faithful Warp Lightning Cannon, a slightly better cannon, Iron Blaster. Then I have a Gutstar unit, 16 Ogre Iron Guts with full command. It has a level 4 Slaughtermaster, a Bruiser BSB, and a Vermin Lord. The Iron Guts have taken to the Vermin Lord since he ate their tyrant. They rather like him. Then we have a unit of 8 Man-Eaters, a unit of 35 Plague Monks with full command, and a Plague Priest on a Furnace. Then I have another unit of 50 Skaven Slaves with just a Barry Basic Warlock Engineer who is armed with a certain something. Then I have a Hellpit Abomination, and finally I have another rather unfortunate Saber Tusk. So yeah, that's 6,000 points of Ogres and Skaven. Quite a sizable force. Let's see what we can do against Ollies. So yeah, we will get back to you at the end of the first turn.
Okay, it's the end of turn 1 for Chaos and Orc and Goblins. Just shuffle things around. The Squig Hoppers obviously had to move up, and everything else just moved up pretty cautiously, just to see what side's going to do. So just hanging out. Right, so the magic phase is obviously 4d6, so I rolled a mighty 20 dice for me, and so I got 12. Channeled 1 as well, so I channeled 2. But at the end effect of the magic phase was I managed to get a Vindictive Glare off, which did 2 wounds to some lead belchers. I basically failed to cast a improved Foot of Gork. I did actually cast the Storm of Magic version of Purple Sun, which isn't very good in my opinion, but I tried to cast it anyway, and actually rolled a misfire, and it's centred on the Demon Prince. But luckily scattered off to him as per the rules, and scattered onto these Night Goblins, and killed 18. Killed 18 Night Goblins. So yeah, which I need to make a panic test for.
Yeah, that'd be nice to play.
Passed it. They're passing their own leadership. So they're hanging in there, which is a bit of a problem actually. The miscast I got did D6 strength 6 hits to all casters, which of course did a wound to the Demon Prince, a wound to the Savage Orc Shaman, and no wound to the Scud in the building, or the other Scud over here, who I don't care about, and but luckily this guy took a wound, so consoled himself. So yeah, that's pretty annoying. Because I did contemplate infernal puppeting it, just to make it so the guys around him take the hit, but there was a risk of rolling a 3, which would get calamitous detonation, which would of course blown up loads of Corn Warriors, so I just took the wound, so I'm not planning to fight with him anyway. So that was it for the magic phase. Like I say, all the other spells didn't really happen, and I lost some power dice from the miscast anyway. So in the shooting phase, that was a bit more successful. This rock lobber killed his warp lightning cannon outright, which was a really good start. These guys, one of them killed an ogre outright, and then failed to wound, so that was a pretty good game. The hell cannon did excellent job. It fired at the plague furnace, scattered off, only just clipped the furnace, did a wound to it, and then killed 11 plague bugs, which was excellent. And then this rock lobber managed to do 2 wounds to a doom wheel, and the doom diver killed 2 slaves. Nice. And that was it. So it's the end of the Orc and Goblin / Chaos go. So hand you over to Si for his turn 1.
Okay, is the end of the Ogres and Skaven Alliance turn 1. What turned out to be quite brutal. Everyone just sort of moved up and around, so everyone's steaming forward. These guys actually moved back. The plan was going to be that they were going to be closest to the squig hoppers. Everyone else sort of moved forward, getting in. Then in the magic phase, I started off, this guy here with his warp lightning, wiped out the squig hoppers quite impressively, which became a problem, but I'll get to that later. Then pretty much, I cast Howling Warp Gale with the Vermin Lord. Then with nothing else to do with the Skaven, I went on and I thought, I'll cast a nice big Troll Guts, it'll be alright. Get Troll Guts off everyone in the area. I miscast. I must admit, I thought I'd rolled Dimensional Cascade. Turned out I hadn't, but Ollie Infernal puppeted it, so that I got what I thought anyway. And then I only managed to do 2 wounds to the unit and a wound to the man eaters next door, but I did unfortunately fail my test and got sucked into the warp. Then that was pretty much it. I tried casting Fireball, but obviously that was dispelled with the abundance of dispel dice left. And in the shooting phase it didn't get much better. Basically I managed to wipe out all of my shooting attacks. The cannon cracked the barrel, so it can't fire for the rest of the game. The rattling gun attached to the storm vermin wiped itself out. I managed to kill 3 lead belchers with the warp lightning, because unfortunately the building was closer, although I'm just thanking myself lucky that it wasn't the Mournfang. And I just killed a couple of rats over here in the corner. In return, I shot with the launcher at Ollie's BSB. I hit him, wounded him. He failed his lookout, sir. However, he had wisely barried him up, and he had a 3-up ward save against shooting. So he managed to save that one, because I could see the noticeable look of fear in his face when he took that last roll. Otherwise, he would have been crying rivers at that point. Then with the final shot, I fired my Doom Rocket, forgot maths, and then basically just blew a small hole in the middle of the battlefield. Yes, and then the lead belchers managed to kill 3 of the Marauder cavalry. That probably would have been a wipeout if the bloody rattling gun had managed to do something. But yeah, it was a pretty devastating first turn. Well, not quite really demoralised because there's still an absolute ton of stuff on the battlefield. It's not so bad when that kind of stuff happens. Plus, I'm in Skaven general mode, so I don't really care. They can all die. I've just got waves upon waves of them. So yeah, that is the end of my first turn, and it is on to the Orcs and Chaos Alliance turn 2.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Chaos turn 2, and another eventful turn. So let's just move some debris out of the way. Okay, so in the movement phase, got the Black Orcs out of the building. These wolves moved up to escort their hell pit for a little while. These guys just moved up. The Knights moved around a bit more aggressively. This guy unfortunately could use a Howling Walk Gale as a movement of 1, so he didn't do a lot. Shagoth charged into a Doom Wheel. These guys failed to charge into the other Doom Wheel. This guy just hung back, he couldn't fly because of Howling Walk Gale, as with this guy. And the Chariot charged into the Plague Monks, which is probably the worst idea I've ever had. It killed quite a few of them though, so I'll get to that in a second. Then in the Magic phase, I don't think I had many dice. I had like 11 dice, side 9. That's a pretty bad Magic phase. Attempted to cast the Final Gateway, he dispelled it. Attempted to cast Hand of Gork, he dispelled that. And what did I cast? I didn't think I cast anything, did I?
No.
No. That's sad. Yeah, so I didn't cast anything. So yeah, that's the end of Magic phase. In the shooting phase, my Rock Lobber misfired, but I just couldn't shoot this turn, as did one of the Spear Chuckers. The other Spear Chucker I think missed. The Hell Cannon made a good account of itself and tried to shoot something. I can't remember. The Storm Vermin just scattered onto the Ogres, did a couple of wounds. The Doom Diver managed to miss both the Stonehorn and the Noblars, so a little bit disappointing, but that's probably the first time he's ever missed something. This Rock Lobber tried to fire at the Doom Wheel but scattered onto the Clan Rats, killed a good few of them. And that was it for shooting. Then in the close combat, Shagoth, as usual, didn't do very well. He got walk grinded and took 2 wounds, but he did 2 wounds in return. Failed to break it. And the other close combat, the Chariot killed 6 Plague Monks, but then they owned him, so he's dead, and they got free combat reform, which was disastrous for me. So that was a really stupid idea. But other than that, it was a really good turn. I killed a lot less this turn of my own stuff than I did last time, which is always good. So I can certainly appreciate those. So, which will hand you over to Ogre turn 2.
Okay, in a suitably brutal turn 2. Basically, a hell of a lot of charges actually. I needed to get rid of the guys that were getting in the way of the Doom Wheel. So I charged the Saber Tusk at the Shagoth. I then charged the Mournfang at the Marauder Cav, who turned to flee. I then redirected into the successfully redirected into the Squigs. Over there, just behind the big Wyvern, my little sneaky bastard Gutter Runners come on the board. Basically, they moved in a bit. Everyone kind of moved up. The now useless chieftain, whose Skaven brew happened to be bad. There was some poison. He's obviously secretly trying to gank the Storm Vermin. So he poisoned them, killed a few at the start of the battle, and then charged out to engage the Marauder Cav, who fled but were caught by him. So that's why he's out in the open. The large unit of guts reformed, moved forwards, along with the man-eaters, the slaves. Over here, I charged the wolves who fled off the table, and then oh no, sorry, that was yeah, no, that was the last line. It was just a reform, and then the help it just had to move forward. So that's impending. What else? That was pretty much it for movement. Oh yeah, so I had to charge the. I actually had to charge the other saber tusk into the black orcs in order to get it out of the way of the help it. So yeah. So we got a big unit here. So yeah, the magic phase, nothing really happened. I didn't get any spells off. I tried one of the big ones, but Ollie managed to dispel it. I was actually hoping for a miscast. Put a nice little template of Death and Destiny upon probably the Black Orcs to force them to in his magic phase, because it'd be pretty much nigh on impossible to get out of there. For the size of his unit, and in his next magic phase he'd suffer horrendous casualties and I'd be happy, but unfortunately he dispelled it. Then shooting wasn't that much better. The lead belchers really were my only shooting. They opened up on the Chaos Knights, did a wound. Close combat, unfortunately the Shaggoth finally managed to beat the Doom Wheel. Might also point out in the movement phase, because of the silly way I'd positioned the Doom Wheel, I actually had to move it off the board, because I'd rather stupidly moved this Skaven unit up a bit too far, so it couldn't actually. Because I was so concerned about warp lightning, I actually hemmed it in, and it couldn't move around enough to get over to this side of the battlefield and help. So yeah, that was a bit of an idiot thing on my part, but it's just a very compact battlefield at the moment. Yeah, then in close combat, obviously that lost. I absolutely annihilated all the squig handlers. I got 9 impact hits, 8 wounds, 5 of which were on handlers, rather annoyingly, which destroyed them. And then in the ensuing damage, I only took 1 wound from there, but it wiped out the Marauder Cav and 5 guys from this Skaven unit. In my other shooting phase, part of the shooting phase I should say, my gutter runners that came on managed to do 2 wounds to his Wyvern with their poisoned attacks. And that was pretty much it. So yeah, quite a long and varied phase. Stuff's starting to thin out now, so things are going to get a little more manoeuvrable. And it's now on to the Orcs and Chaos turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Chaos turn 3. Got right up in his grill with some charges this time. I charged the Black Orcs into the flank of the Hellpit. These guys just carried on sitting there. The troll failed his stupidity and just drawled a bit and stumbled forward. This troll passed and just moved in his way. These guys moved up, releasing fanatics, which killed that guy who charged my Marauder Cav. As it turns out, Side actually sent him to trigger the fanatics, so they happily obliged and slaughtered him. These guys just moved up. So as you can see, these guys just stayed there, not wanting to charge that because they can't charge from the Stonehorn. The Shaggoth charged into the building. This just moved up. The Wyvern charged the Mournfang, and that's pretty much it. Then the magic phase are all really low, or relatively low. but still enough to squander it all and not really doing anything. But I cast the big spell, Foot of Gork, on these guys, so I dispelled it. But I had just enough dice to cast, and I rolled exactly 15 to Infernal Gateway, and did, I think it was 7 strength, 8 hits to the Stonehorn. It's perfectly enough to kill it, which was absolutely fine with me. So that thing's gone. And that was it for the magic. Then in the shooting phase, this it hit some plague monks, fired at the thing indirectly, scattered all the plague monks, but only killed the one under the hole. The rest of them evaded. Then the spear chuckers rolled loads of 6s, which was nice. I think I killed a man-eater. One of them, I don't know if I killed anything else actually. It was probably just a man-eater. But there was some pretty impressive hits at least. And that was it for that. This rock lobber malfunctioned, and there's can't shoot this turn or next. And the Doom Diver failed to hit the Storm Vermin and the Fanatic, which is a shame. So that was it. Then in close combat, the Black Orcs tore the Help It a New One, but that's because they used great weapons and had flaming attacks. So that would do it. This guy also actually attempted to charge earlier, but actually failed his charge. And he's rolling a paltry 17. So, other close combat there's nothing happened there. The Shaggoth charged in there, did 5 wounds to the lead, four wounds to the lead belchers. But then he did me 2 in return and was stubborn. So actually held. The Shaggoth is failing again. But this guy's the man. He charged in, declared his own little war all by himself. Wyvern did a wounds, and the War Boss did 3 wounds. Actually won the combat by 4, but unfortunately Side passed his back test because he had a BSB behind him and rolled a 3. So that's a bit annoying. And the Wyvern's only got 1 wound left now, but the War Boss is in good health. So that's it. So it's the end of Orcs and Chaos turn 3.
Okay, it's the end of the Skaven and Orc Alliance turn 3. Basically, those that were... I tried to charge with the slaves, but he ran like a cowardly dog. These guys just moved forward. My Gutstar charged into the Troll. These guys moved up. Then the slaves and the Iron Blaster charged into the other Troll. And then my Plague Monks charged into the Plague Furnace. The magic phase was pretty epic. I managed to roll 21. Basically, not that much happened other when I turned his unit of Khorne Warriors. I plagued them first, but he pulled out a rather handy scroll, which gave him a 4-up ward against it. So instead of losing 5, he only lost 2. But I then dreaded 13th and turned them all into rats, which was rather nice. Blew up my general doing it. However, he managed to survive. He just did a couple of wounds to the unit. Nothing else really happened after that. Then basically, shooting. I tried to shoot the pesky little bloody guy there, but Fanatic, yeah. Unfortunately, he got a bit too excitable with the crank, and he overloaded and ended up shooting in that direction, which is at me. So the lead belchers, they tried to shoot the dirty dog in the back. Unfortunately, I rolled 3 shots, but I did wound him once. That was pretty much it for the shooting. Close combat, unfortunately over here with the Wyvern, the Mournfang just utterly fluffed it. I only managed to do the Wyvern 1 wound.
No, he didn't do it. He did it wound and I saved it.
Oh yeah, didn't do anything, which was pretty bad. So that was like it was striking last as well. That was like 3 guys full attacks. So yeah, that was unfortunately pathetic. Then over here, I butchered the butchered the troll, and then over here I also butchered the troll, and then over here I proper smacked up the Black Orcs. Although I got a little bit unlucky, I only rolled a 1 for impact hits, and I managed to do myself 2 wounds with a wrecker ball, and a lot of the re-rolls to wound were pretty miserable as well.
So I only killed 19 of them.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know, could have been better. I only needed 4 more, and I would have got rid of his steadfast, and they probably would have fled off. But well, that's life. So yeah, I've done some messing up, and yeah, it's now going to be Orcs and Chaos turn 4.
Okay, it's the end of Orcs and Chaos turn 4. Let's see, the Lord over here charges into the Man-Eaters. These guys just moved up. These guys moved up to get in their way. These guys attempted to charge the Turncoat Corn Warriors, who fled. These guys charged into the Noblars. BSB charged into the building, which is not in contact now. The Wolf one just moved up, and that's pretty much it. Then in the magic phase, got a fair number of dice. Attempted to cast Foot of Gork, so I dispelled it. And then I cast Walloping Big Crunch on these guys. Did 8 wounds to them. Then I cast Infernal Gateway, doing 10 strength 10 hits to this unit, only actually wounding 6 due to 4 ones and rolling to wound. It's a bit of a shame, but I've whittled that unit down significantly now. The Knights absolutely crushed the Noblars, although one of them did put up a bit of a fight. Still died. Shooting phase, the Hell Cannon landed on the Fire Belly, like, pinpoint accuracy, but only rolled a 1 to wound, so he got off with it. But he did kill a couple of Storm Vermin. That's pretty much it for shooting. I've got to use a Warframe. Okay, so that was it. Over here, the Orc War boss got owned by some rats. They came in, fluffed all his attacks against the BSB, only doing a wound to him. And then the Skaven sorted him out with static combat res. He fled and they caught him, so that didn't end very well.
Don't forget the BSB managed to jib the women. Then static combat res.
Yeah, sorry, he killed the women, but did what the Mornfang couldn't. These guys killed the Bolt Thrower. Not the Bolt Thrower, the Doom Diver. In fact, they couldn't move like that anyway, because they would still be up there, wouldn't they? Because they killed an artillery, which doesn't flee, just gets destroyed if it passes a break test.
Oh, yes.
So you could reform, but you can't actually. Not that it really matters. Actually, it does matter because it's a goblin. So.
No, well, that's just where they'll move next time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So the Black Orcs finally succumbed to these guys, although there was 5 left and they were steadfast, they failed it. But there's just the Plague Furnace on 1 wound and the champion.
Who, bizarrely enough, is pushing it on his own.
Yeah. The guy's having a bad day. The Lord came in here, slotted a Man-Eater, maybe even 2. So I think it's just 1. But his Manicore died, which is a shame. But he just won the combat by 1. But Manicores do seem to be prone to doing that. And that was pretty much it, really. These guys ate a Fanatic as they moved up to here, just to block those off. And that's it. So that's the end of my turn 4.
Well, it's the end of Ogre and Skaven turn 4, or should I say, mostly Skaven, as that tends to be where all the action is happening. The Mornfang managed to finally rally with the help of the BSB. The BSB obviously turned around and shouted over his shoulder that he'd killed the Manticore and the Orc war boss riding it, and had showed them how it was done. So yeah, they've moved off here. And the Mournfang are back, although it's probably unlikely they're going to take any more part in the battle now. My Skaven slave unit of death, destruction, and utter butchery charged the Shaggoth again, who turned tail and ran. However, he was shot in his back by the little rattling gun unit. The lead belcher, remaining steadfast in his gaff, went and shot at the disc exalted lord or exalted champion, sorry, hero even, and
one of the above.
no, sorry, he shot at the Shaggoth. I do apologise, but missed. It was done by them. Yeah, the exalted hero has been left alone. So thus far. There was a bit of reformation and movement around here to get out of the way. These guys moved back, and the Firebelly ditched the Fail boat over here, and he jumped in with the lads around the corner here. The slave unit moved up, and the remainder of the cannon charged into the flank of the savages, and the plague furnace just whipped itself around there. So magic phase was pretty uneventful. I rolled 20, but I only really got blessed with filth off. I got a nice large. I had a nice large dreaded 13th to try and change all the infantry. Well, kill them, because obviously the Demon Prince would stop them from turning into rats, but it would get rid of a caster and several of those guys over there. So yeah, it was a possibility, but yeah, he wisely scrolled that, and then pretty much everything else just got dispelled. There was nothing doing there. So that was really the end of that. Then in close combat, what did we do? The chariot did amazingly well. It only took 2 wounds. Funnily enough, from the Savage Orc Shaman, because the savages, it managed to do 2 wounds, but it managed to make a jammy armor save. So I've just got to put. It's indicating it's got 4 wounds on it. So then the last combat, well, these guys have been cast with Blessed with Filth. I managed to stick 6 wounds on his lord, but that lord is made of strong stuff, and only 2 got through. But it was rather nice. I must admit I did lose some man-eaters, but I'll be happy if they manage to kill a Chaos Lord. They'll be doing a hell of a lot better than they did last game, when they barely managed to kill a unit of Pistoliers. So yeah, so far the Skaven have notched up pretty much every kill, bar the Manticore. Although if the Ogres can kill the Lord here, then they will have at least got some honour back for Ogre kind. So yeah, that is the end of another pretty eventful turn, and it's now on to turn 5 of Chaos and Orcs and Goblins.
Okay, it's actually Monday now. Where the game was going on for quite a while, so we decided to finish the rest of it the following day, which is now Monday, of course, which is New Year's Eve. So we just had Chaos turn 5 now. So let's have a look. The BSB moved over here just to try and get away from those. These guys were worryingly going to charge him in the flank, so he decided to bug out of there. Plus, I needed the re-roll, so I had to try and keep him alive. Hawthorne moved up. The Knights charged into the Khorne Skaven, as did these guys. The Goblins charged into these. And that's pretty much it for movement. And then in the magic phase, I got 21 dice against, so I got a fair few as well. I managed to cast Foot of Gork and kill 22 Skaven clan rats. and then it jumped on my. Then I rolled a 1, and it attempted to crush my BSB, but luckily rolled a 1 to wound. And then the spell ended. Then I tried to cast the big crushing foot, the other version, from the Storm of Magic on them. Unfortunately failed to cast it. Then I attempted to cast Infernal Gateway as well, but side dispelled it. And then it was a shooting phase. The Rock Lobber managed to scatter off this unit as well. But then the Hell Cannon with pinpoint accuracy fired at the Plague Furnace, killing it, and the last Plague Monk. Unfortunately, rolled a 1 to wound on the Plague Priest, so he's still alive. And that was pretty much it for shooting. The War Shrine gave the Goblins a blessing. Unfortunately, it was only +3 magic resistance, which didn't really help. And then in the close combat phase, Crom finally succumbed to the Man-Eaters, but he did take another one with him, which was pretty nice. Unfortunately, their poisoned attacks just too much for him. This combat obviously crushed the Clan Rats, killed them to a man, and overrun, but unfortunately didn't quite make it into there. Then these guys I challenged with one of my big bosses. He grudgingly accepted with his Vermin Lord, and the Vermin Lords promptly died. I mean, no, that's a lie. He actually slaughtered me in the classic mismatch. Right, so and then he reformed after slaughtering the rest of the goblins and then running away. So unfortunately they weren't quite steadfast, otherwise it would have been quite nice. But although the big boss here made a good account of himself and actually took out an Iron Gut by himself, which was nice. 3 hits, 3 wounds, so that was pretty good. It's a shame the other guy didn't do that on the Vermin Lord, but that only would have happened if the Vermin Lord had forgotten to attack it. And I think that was it for close combat. Oh, the Savages finally managed to kill that chariot, although only doing 1 wound to it, but thankfully Side failed his armour save, so it did actually die. And that was pretty much it for my turn. So it's not looking very good, because those Iron Guts and that Vermin Lord are going to kill those knights. That's just horrible. And these guys are a bit stuck at the moment. Well, they're not now, but so we'll have to see what happens. But it's now Ogre and or should I just say Skaven turn 5.
Okay, it is the end of Skaven and Ogres turn 5. Basically, everyone, the 2 units there, the Clan Rats and the Slaves, tried to charge at the sort of War Shrine. Failed on both accounts. Pretty much everyone just sort of moved around. The Iron Guts charged into the Knights, the Man-Eaters and the Slaves charged into the Savages. Then in the Magic phase, it was pretty well, it was alright. I got Plague off, but that was about it. And then, yeah, just kind of shooting was a bit null and void. I killed the remaining Fanatic. I killed one of his little goblin wizards over there with the poison Death Star from the Gutter Runners. And then in close combat, well, basically the Man-Eaters died as expected, but held up the Savages. Disappointingly, though, however, even a Vermin Lord, of fully hard, about the toughest thing in the Skaven army, could not kill Exotic Horn Lord. I basically fluffed all of his attacks, which was pretty pathetic. And then to make matters worse, I fluffed a lot on the Iron Guts as well, and in the end I only lost like 1 model in the out of the whole damn caboodle, which was
I did what 3 wounds to Vermin Lord.
Yeah, well,
and then
basically once he ridden them down and into that unit, he essentially took nearly a third of the combined army with him, which is which is pretty
like a good 400 points there as well.
Yes, there is. Yeah. So basically, that's turned on the knife edge. From what I thought I could pull a win, has almost certainly gone to a loss to me. So yeah, we'll play out the next turn, and we'll get back to you at the end of Orcs and Chaos, turn 6.
Okay, it's the end of Chaos and Orcs, turn 6, and wow. So, let's see what happens. Charge-wise, didn't really do any charging, I don't think. No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I attempted to charge the War Shrine into the tower, but failed it. These guys moved up. These guys pretty much stayed where they were. And then in the magic phase, I got a lot of dice. So I threw almost every Zinch spell I had at the Storm Vermin. Started with a Flickering Fire. Did a couple of wounds. No, did Strength 2, so I saved it. Or maybe not, can't remember. Basically, maybe 1 wound. Did a Baleful Transmogrification, so I dispelled it. Did a Treason of Zinch, so I failed to dispel it. So I rolled for it and with my dice, and managed to get loads of hits and then only get 1 wound. So yeah. So in the end, I final gatewayed it to get rid of them, and I had like 11 strength 10 hits or something, or strength 7 hits, and it just took the unit out. So got rid of them. But yeah, burnt 21 dice to do it. So, and then in the shooting phase, Spear Chuckers couldn't really shoot anything. Hell Cannon, saw the Plague Monk, Plague Priest even, fired at him, and with pinpoint accuracy, killed him as well. So that was nice. And then in close combat, the Savages fought the Slaves, managed to kill the character, the Warlock Engineer. And just went through combat res, and of course they broke, blew up, killed another Savage Orc with the explosion, and did a wound to my Sorcerer in the building, who took about 5 wounds, but actually saved 4 of them with his armour save, which is quite handy. Then other combat, the Knights fluffed loads of attacks, even after Side Pot issued a challenge with his Warlord. And I only managed to do 1 wound to him because he passed a 6-up armour save and then a 6-up parry. Actually, he wouldn't have passed the 6-up parry because...
it was a 6-up Dawnstone reroll.
Oh right, did you have a normal shield and a...
Yeah, I had
What weapon did you have?
Just a Sword of Might.
Oh, then you wouldn't get a parry because it's a magic sword. You have to have a basic hand weapon and a basic shield. Oh, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. He was pinned out. But yeah, sorry, it was a Dawnstone reroll. And he got another 6. So probably the most pimped out Skaven Warlord ever, but it paid off this time. So they fled because the Knights bluffed all their attacks as well, only killed a few of them. And then he rolled a 10 to run away because he's at +1 and he actually got away.
Thank God for scurry away.
So yeah, he's so that worked out for him. So I've got to chase him down at the moment. I'm not going to get a chance to charge him again, so he's got away with it. Yeah, so we're going to move to Ogres turn 6. Sorry, Skaven turn 6, because the Ogres, bar those 2 and the one in the tower, are dead. So yeah, so Skaven turn 6 coming up.
Yeah, nice short turn 6 for Skaven and Ogres. Basically, everyone just moved around. The clan managed to charge the War Shrine. These guys continued running. Basically, magic phase was null and void. Shooting phase, nothing really happened. Just shot at the BSB, but couldn't get him. In close combat, I managed to beat the War Shrine by 5. However, unluckily, Ollie managed to, well, luckily for Ollie, he rolled a 4, which is what he needed, and yeah, it didn't flee. So yeah, a bit unfortunate, but that's pretty much the end of the game. And yeah, we're just going to total up what we've got. So we'll get back to you in just a sec.
Okay, so it's all said and done now. The battle is over, and we totaled up the points. So I scored 3,054, and I scored 4,570, which is pretty clear that I won because his Gut Star failed, and I got stomped them. His Gut Star was almost 2,000 points, so that one swing pretty much defined who won. He was winning up until that point. So yeah, that was pretty pivotal. So I'm just going to sort of have a bit of a summary of the game. So yeah, it kind of started out pretty good for the Chaos and the Orcs. Had some good shooting phases, took out a lot of key targets. As the game went on though, I kind of realised that a lot of his little chaff units and survivors of things were running around the board, and there was a lot of his points sitting around, particularly these plague monks who were just sitting there taunting me, and it was hurting. So that's when I decided to have a bit of a mass clear up. So that was. So yeah, so I was really worried for quite a while about points denial. So I just had a lot of points like kicking around the board still, and I was losing bleeding units like crazy. Like Khorne warriors just got evaporated. The savages didn't do anything apart from kill some things holding them up, which is hardly a good deal. These guys got killed right at the start of the game by a random Zinch spell, and then just bounced off those Iron Guts, which I expected them to do, but there should have been about 18 extra on there, so that hurt. I think the magic phases in general were pretty bad. I don't know, although we were rolling the extra dice, we just seemed to have rubbish magic phases anyway. I mean, we were getting off like the odd Foot of Gork and the odd Dreaded 13th and that, but it wasn't quite as epic as I was expecting. But then it's largely to do, I think, with no fulcrums or anything, because I guess there's Storm Magic's geared towards having the fulcrums. So, but the magic was fun. It was nice to use these bigger spells, which you don't normally get a chance to use. I certainly wouldn't use them in a smaller game because they're just a bit ridiculous. Although the equivalent of Foot of Gork one seems a bit rubbish to me compared to the normal Foot of Gork. The close combat was didn't happen until the last couple of turns, and most of them swung in my favour. Fortunately for Sai. What else? Well, yeah, you saw the report, so you didn't know what happened, kind of thing. But as a unit review, my man of the match for this entire game, bearing in mind all that happened, is my Hell Cannon, who was like ice cold,
well deserved,
and just sniped things. I think he got hit for every roll.
He didn't miss.
He pretty much wiped out this Plague Monk unit on his own, because the Black Orcs didn't do a lot. Well, the Black Orcs obviously killed loads of them, but
no, that killed more.
Yeah, that killed a lot of stuff.
The Black Orcs killed about 17 or 18 Plague Monks.
Yeah.
That killed the other 17, the entire Plague Furnace, and the guy right.
Yeah, he scored the points for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he literally mopped up, 550 points from that. He killed, he rendered the Storm Vermin unit useless by getting a direct hit on them, killing, 22 of them, I think. I think he got a shot on the bunker unit. Oh, that's when he killed 22. I don't know, he just killed everything. He's the man. But that's why I love him. So he made me 205 points, but he's worth every single one. So, and he has a bit of a history with those Plague Monks. He's released one of our past games. He actually rampaged, rolled 18, charged them with the flank, and actually beat them. So yeah, he doesn't like them. So he's the man of the match, and really the duffer of the match is probably the Savage Orcs, just for being caught. It wasn't really their fault. It was just really good tactics by Sai throwing things in their flank, but they really didn't do a lot. I mean, they killed the Iron Guts, but Sai only charged them in for the spirit of the game, not because it was tactically sound or anything. So, and because at that point he was winning by quite a margin, so it didn't really matter if he lost the Man-Eaters, but it just ended up hurting him in the end. The Infernal Puppet guy did his fair share as well. So I got 3-dimensional cascades because of him, and consequently lost one of his wizards as a result.
2-dimensional cascades, because oh no, it wasn't.
I think it was 3. Yeah,
because I actually thought
you survived pretty well, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the War Boston and Wyvern is one of the honourable mention, I think, because he had his own little war, sorted out his Mournfang. Unfortunately, he did die to clan rats, but failed to kill a BSB in single combat, which is a bit of a shame. But it's nice to see flying creatures actually having a use, although he held the Mournfang up, which is more than I could ask, so he did alright in his own little war, because he was pretty much holding that flank on his own, because the squigs blew themselves up. And yeah, so, I mean, on the whole, most of my units did pretty well. There was a lot going on. The Black Orcs certainly, although they died, they did kill the Hell Pit before rendering the Plague Monks combat ineffective, even though they didn't actually kill them. Yeah, I mean, this unit didn't do a lot. It was just a bunker. My Demon Prince didn't really do much, but yeah, he was the general. All he had to do was stay alive, which he almost failed at the first turn. But the Knights, of course, well, I mean, I didn't give them the man of the match because I expect them to be cheesy, but they weren't cheesy this time. They were just really, really, really lucky. So, and they consequently won me the game. So really, then the whole battle goes to them really, because they snatched a defeat and turned it into a victory with one simple combat, much to Si's disgust. Yeah, and the Exalted Hero as well, of course, who did the necessary wounds to his general and then run him down. So that was nice. Although they still couldn't get that bloody Grace here. The Grace here gets away every time, so that was quite annoying. So I suspect he'll be back for his revenge one day. But for now, the day is ours. So yeah, so the Chaos Gods will be happy, and these Savage Orcs may end up as Khorne Savage Orcs if I sort of paint some tattoos on them. Although they probably didn't earn it this game. Although they won every combat they were in, they just didn't get to grips with their Iron Gut units, which is what I really wanted to see. Big old smackdown there, but oh well. So I'm going to hand you over to Si, see what he thinks of the game. But for me personally, I loved it. I thought it was such good fun. We had a blast through this game. Just everything about it was awesome. So really good way to end the year. And hopefully the next year will be just as interesting. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to hand you over to Si now, see what he thinks of the game.
Yeah, that was a pretty great game. It was really, really good fun. Certainly one of the best I've played in a long time. Yeah, like I say, it was very, very close up until the end. I must admit, when I had the chance to charge those knights, I thought, oh, I've got this in the bag. I really, really thought I had it, but yeah, just my luck deserted me when I kind of needed it, and yeah, that was that. Yeah, it was harsh because obviously I would have to win that combat. I would have killed the knights, and then I would have been massively ahead. But yeah, the Hell Cannon was particularly infuriating because it just never missed ever. And it's very annoying when it happens because it is an incredible piece of artillery. But yeah, it just stubbornly refused to scatter or misfire, where normally Ollie's got pretty good at rolling misfires.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
Yeah, unfortunately he seemed to have forgotten how to do it when it came to the Hell Cannon. Because
faithful.
It was yeah. I think that was it. That was certainly one of the big aids to Ollie's victory. Was just that Hell Cannon, because, like I said, it smashed up the Plague Monks. Because I really and truly I should have had the Black Orcs. I should have gone around the back, smashed up the Savages with them. I know they would have been weak in strength, but the plan would have been to bring the Man-Eaters, the Iron Guts, and get that in, and then just basically just smash house. It was very disappointing for me losing my Ogre Caster on the first turn. That really hurt.
Yeah, I think the loss of your blanket Troll Guts.
Yeah. I just think, yeah, I think that was a real bad bit of luck at the start. I mean, it didn't, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it was too much of an issue. But the buffs that they could have given, because getting troll guts at the end of the game would have been, because it would have been awesome, because all of a sudden those iron guts were and a Skaven Vermin Lord with a 4 at regen save would have been excellent. But yeah, that was quite disappointing. But it was good. I was amazed because it was the Skaven that did everything in this game. Pretty much the only thing that got wiped out by the Ogres was the Chaos Lord or the Manticore. That was the only thing the Ogres wiped out. Yeah. Everything else was Skaven. Everything, which is pretty
little suspect.
Yeah, because when you look at it, 3,475 points worth of Skaven wiped out 3,000 points of Orcs and Chaos, arguably two of the best close combat armies in the game. And you got to think that none of my rare choices did anything. That was only with my special choices and my core and my lords. The Hell Pit didn't do anything. The 2 Doom Wheels didn't do anything, and the Warp Lightning Cannon didn't do anything. So yeah, it goes to show the Skaven army is still powerful and up there. It's just I think the lack of use of my Doom Wheel, my Hell Pit, was my own fault. That was poor deployment. Even on an 8x4, 6,000 points is very, very, very packed. But yeah, that was always going to be the problem. Ollie had the same kind of issue. But yeah, it was quite funny. It was quite amusing, nearly ganking the Exalted Hero BSB just with some pissy little lead belchers.
Even for a Gork,
yeah. But that was good. I mean, I think there was a few points. Like I said, if my luck had ridden out, then yeah, it would be a different story. It would be Ollie lamenting his terrible loss, but still, that's not really here nor there, because it was really great fun. Like I say, the only thing that really marred it for me was the Iron Guts. To be fair, on turn 5, it was really my only disappointment in the entire game. But yeah, other than that, it was absolutely brilliant game. It was great fun. Definitely think we should be playing some more bigger games. Obviously, try and see if we can get some more people in on it as well, because that'll obviously make generalship quite fun there.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah,
from a fluff point of view as well, it was 100% successful for the Skaven, because all the Ogres got killed, so they didn't have to pay them. And the Greyseer got away, and the Vermin Lord's gone as well, so he's not going to be hassling them either.
Too right. So yeah, success for Skaven. Utter humiliation for the Ogres. And yeah.
My Demon Prince lives again!
Yeah.
And he didn't even hide in the barn. But he did hide in the unit.
Yeah.
Castles.
At the back of the army for
6 turns. He did charge though.
A unit of Skaven.
Yeah. Were once called Horn Warriors.
Yeah. Still, he did what he had to.
Yeah.
The little hanger on there. Trying to large it up.
The Chaos Core,
So yeah, it was really good fun. So yeah, that is the end. I hope you've enjoyed watching that. It's played over 2 days. Nice long 4 turns on the Sunday, and the last couple of turns today. As you can see, it's gone from light to dark again. So it's probably, I estimate, been a good 12 or 13 hour game. So yeah, we will see you for the next one.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah.